Hey there everybody, this is Ira, and I'm here today with some more Vintage Story. It's been so long since I played Vintage Story. It's been too long. It's just been the heat and, just not feeling well, etc, etc. Anyway, I'm here today. I'm not going to do a normal Vintage Story video though, because today I'm going to do something that people have been asking for, which is show you how to tweak the files of the game to very easily customize it to be exactly the way you want it to be. Now, we've got a new edition. It's the 1.6.0 stable edition, and it's got all kinds of cool new stuff. It's got new weather patterns. It's got a map. It's got a new animal, and like tin is more common. All kinds of really great stuff has been added now. And I went ahead and I made a new single-player world. You can jump in and just take a peek. I've already set all my settings and everything, so it all should run very well. And here we go, and look at this beautiful world. This is just the first one I generated, and I think I'm already in love with it. Oh, a little bit of lag, but it is still generating the world, because all I did was just kind of create it and load it in. Oh god, it's so it's still so beautiful, you guys. I see you over there, little piggy. How come I can't see? Couldn't I see my hand before, or have I just been playing Minecraft too much? I'm not sure. There's animals all around. It's beautiful. Look at the clouds. Clouds look gorgeous. Yeah, it's awesome. However, this is all in the default settings now. So like, oh, actually, I think boars are less dangerous now. I think. Let's test it and find out. Brand new world. Are you gonna attack me just by being near you? Now that's a mama with a baby, right? So I think this one might be more aggressive. Let's find out. Oh, they seem to be okay. Sweet. Wolves are still deadly as all heck. And there's a new animal, the hyena, which apparently is just as deadly as the wolf at the moment, or close to it. And there's foxes now, which I haven't seen yet, because this is my very first time loading up the new world. But look at those clouds, man. The weather will actually change now, instead of just being kind of a random pattern in the sky. And hello there! Leap! Bound! Oh, frolic. It's spectacular. Okay, guys. But yeah, this is all still according to default settings. So, because I have different needs, for example, because of chronic problems with my wrists, I can't hold down the mouse button for a long period of time, things like that. That means that I need to make some changes to the game. Look, there's a forest over here. Oh, I shouldn't have opened the game yet. Now I'm just like, I'm drawn in. It's just so beautiful. So beautiful. By the way, here are my visual settings, my graphics settings. I have a computer that can run them at this level. I could probably turn them up even a little bit more, but I don't want to risk getting frame lag and stuff. I turned up the mouse sensitivity to 110. By default, it's at like 60 or something. It's really slow. You can turn that up, and you can also turn down the smoothing if the kind of... You might not notice it if you're just watching, but when you move the mouse, it kind of... It's a little bit, gives you a little bit of intentional lag to make it look like you're really moving. And I turn the music frequency all the way up because I love the music. By the way, top right hand corner, guys, if you hadn't noticed. Oh, there's new crop images too. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, this is so exciting. Top right hand corner, we got a mini map. Yay, we got a mini map. So that's awesome. I think if we press the M key, we get the full map. Oh, check it out. Look how much it fills in already. Oh, this is spectacular. Guys, I'm so excited to get in here and start playing. But first, I need to make my changes. So before we do anything else, I'm going to leave the world. I'm going to quit the game, right? Now, here's the Vintage Story website, vintagestory.at. And if you need any help figuring out what stuff does, by the way, game content modding, all this stuff is in here. So I think it was a block property overview, was what I was looking at earlier. Yeah, this tells you what all these different things mean in the files. So, to make changes, we go into the files, right? And I think that with the new version, you can now tell it where to install the game. I already had it installed, so by default, it still put it in the app data, but you don't have to put it in app data anymore. And you can even copy and paste the folders, and it seems to work fine. So you can put the files wherever you want. So you go into your Vintage Story folder. Now, be aware there's also a Vintage Story data folder. This is not the one where we're going to be changing stuff. We're going to be going into the Vintage Story folder. Vintage Story data has your save games and stuff like that. We're going to go into assets, right? Now, I've got my list here of things that I want to remember to change, right? So, first thing I want to change is the bed. The bed sleeping time. It's just real short by default. So that's in block types. Now I will admit that the first few times you go in here, it can be hard to find what you're looking for because there's so many categories. But if you jump on the Discord and say, hey, where's the file for this? They'll tell you in like a minute. So we go into wood and generic. This is where the bed is. And we open, and I want to open with Notepad++. This is, we'll update later. We'll update later. Not right now. Not right now. Should have opened this before I started recording. Notepad++ is a free program. It's like Notepad, except it formats everything according to code, and it's just much easier and more useful to use. So highly recommend grabbing yourself Notepad++. But if you don't have it or you don't want it, you can very easily do this in regular Windows Notepad or whatever system you're using, whatever basic text editing program you have. It will work fine. So don't panic when you see all these colors and stuff. That's just the automatic formatting for this program. This will all appear in plain text just fine. In fact, let's open with more options, and I'll just show you very quickly so you don't panic. Notepad. And it looks like that, okay? So I'm going to be using Notepad++ because I find it easier. Just want to let you guys know that don't be scared. Don't be scared, you guys. So the thing that I want to change is the sleep efficiency. Sleep efficiency is what determines how long the bed lets you sleep for. Now, unfortunately, this game has it set to a set time. So if you go to sleep at 10 in the morning, you're going to wake up a set number of hours later. It's not going to wake you up when the sun comes up in the morning. So if you go to bed at 3 in the morning, then you probably miss half the day. So just be aware of that. Be aware of that. And I'm going to change the sleep efficiency. It's a very specific number. I'm just going to change it to, whoops, turn on my numlock, not the arrow keys, 0.75 for all 3 types. Okay, so this is going to make me sleep for, see, even the top type before was only 0.625. I think this will let me sleep for something like 8 hours or 9 hours, which is most of the night. And I'm just setting it for all 3 types. So the hay one is the one you can easily craft out of grass. The wood one is one you can craft later. And the wood aged is one you can only find in ruins. So I'm just going to set them all to the same because I don't really see any value for myself in having the beds not take you through the night. So there's all kinds of other stuff, but we don't need to worry about any other things. The only thing I care about for the bed is this. Now, obviously, folks, you should usually back up files before you change them, but since I already know what I'm doing and I know what the base values are, I could always fix them if I need to because I've already written down all the changes I'm going to make. But, if you're not sure, if you're nervous, just go ahead and go to the, I think you could do the whole, you could do the whole assets folder. You can copy the assets folder and paste it somewhere else in a backup folder somewhere, wherever you want, in your documents or whatever. And that will just give you clean copies of everything in case you're worried. I'm not worried, but it's a good idea to do that. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is I want to change the backpack, okay? The backpack, by default, gives you 6 slots of inventory space, and I want to up that to 8 because I'm always running out of inventory space and there's no way to increase it beyond the 4 backpacks right now. So I'm just going to bump that up a little bit. That's my personal preference. Yes, I am making the game easier for myself, but that's fine, right? I'm playing single player. I can make it as easy as I want. As long as I'm having fun, that's the important thing. Okay, now the next thing, this is a very important one for me, is the tools. Now this one's going to take a few minutes, and I'll probably do most of it off camera and just cut, but I just want to show you folks. Again, I mentioned that holding down the mouse button causes problems in my wrist, and I am on doctor's orders to avoid doing that as much as possible. And obviously things like cutting down trees and mining are going to irritate my wrist. So, things that I'm going to do is change the efficiency and the speed of all the tools so that they work faster, and also change the durability so that they last longer so I don't have to go mining as often. And I'm going to change them quite a lot, but you can tweak them as much or as little as you want to. And this is all the different types. So obviously it's going to take a while to change all of these to make them faster. So for now, I'm going to skip that because I want to double check in the Discord to make sure that I change the numbers correctly. I don't want to make it worse for myself. So I'll skip that for now, and instead we'll just do the durability. The durability, I know, higher number means it lasts longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to triple the amount of time that each of these will last. And yes, again, I'm making the game easier for myself. Oh gosh, what's 75 times 3, folks? 75 times 2 is 150. 225? 225, I think. So I'm going to go through and do all these, and then I'm going to do the same thing for all of the other tools so that they don't wear out as fast. There we go. I've taken care of the pickaxe, so I'm going to leave it at that for now. I did the axe, the hammer, and the pickaxe. I'll come back and do the rest of them later, because that particular part is a bit tedious. Now, obviously, if you're going to be changing all of them, you might want to use a mod, and in a later video, maybe I'll show you how to make a mod, or I'll just provide a mod for all the changes that I'm going to be making. However, I want to show you how to make all the other stuff. So the tools are in there, the website will teach you what the stuff does, and the Discord will provide you with any other questions. The other thing that I really want to make sure I do is change some of the recipes. Now, in the grid, this is all the things you make in your crafting grid, and there's a very important one, you guys, a very important one: firewood. Firewood, by default, you get 3 pieces of firewood for 1 wood log. This means you have to spend just an insane amount of time cutting down trees. If you've got the time and you don't have chronic problems with your wrist, then that might be fine, but for me, 3 is like tripling it wouldn't even begin to be enough. So I'm going to change it to 16. 16 pieces of firewood for every log that I turn into firewood with my axe. And that is going to help me just so much in reducing a little bit of the grind and reducing a little bit of the stress on my wrist. Very important stuff. I also wanted to change the raw brick. These are the clay bricks, and by default, you need, I think it's 4 pieces of clay for 1 clay brick, and then you need 4 clay bricks to make clay brick blocks, and it's just like super, super grindy. And again, it requires a lot of digging and a lot of mining to get enough clay. So I'm just going to change it to 4. So basically, each piece of clay will be 1 clay brick, which is a little bit more reasonable for me. All right, so you can look through all the rest of these recipes, and you can just tweak them as you like. But there's one more thing that I really want to make sure that I change. Actually, no, 2 more things. There's 2 more things I want to change. One of them is the, let's see, it's in clay, I believe. Here we go, the oil lamp, folks. The oil lamp, by default, doesn't give off very much light at all, right? This is the line right here that determines how bright something is. And you can also determine the color of the light, which I think is really, really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the, it's item properties. And then we find that, no, not item properties, block properties. Block properties, Yep. This is the one. We're going to find that one here, which is the light HSV, right? And this is a cool one. You open this page, and it's got all these things. So all of these are the possible lights that you can create, and you can change the color and all kinds of stuff. I think the oil lamp would look really nice in kind of an orangish reddish color, but I want it to be bright. So you'll notice, here we are. The third value is the brightness, the 11. Okay, so let's find one with 11. Now, if you hover over here, it'll give you a little pop-up. So hue saturation value of 11 is here. Look how dim that is. It's way too dim, you guys. It's way too dim. So I'm going to make it kind of an orangish one, but I'm going to increase that value up to, say, 20. And I'm also going to increase the values of the torch and the lantern so that everything is increased. Maybe even 22. So let's try 7, 1, 22, right? So we'll change this. 7, 1, 22. That's going to change what the lamp looks like, okay? I'm also going to jump in to the under wood generic. We've got the torch, okay? So we can also change the torch to last for longer. Oh my goodness, you guys. I did another great big old famous IRA derp, which is that my hotkey for starting and stopping my my recording is on the number pad, and I hit it and I stopped recording, so I missed a little bit. So last thing I said was I can increase the amount of time that the torch lasts before it burns out, and so I've just doubled that from 3 days to 6, and then I went down and I changed the light value for the torch, and I also, oh yes, I do want to save it, and then I also changed the lantern, which is in the metal, so I'll just show you what I changed that to. Oh goodness, I'm telling you folks, recording this video has turned out to be far more complicated than I expected. I've also just increased the the resolution of this video because I realized that some of the small text was a little bit tough to read on my slightly scaled down version. So hopefully my computer will be able to handle doing this without scaling it down. So this is the setting that I put for the metal lantern. Now these are all higher brightness levels than they were. So, but this is what I need to do because I'm a YouTuber. You know, first of all, I just like the game to be brighter. And second of all, I need to be able to, for you guys to see what I'm doing. Because, you know, I'm a YouTuber. YouTube darkens everything so much. It's just ridiculous. Okay, so we've taken care of the torches. Now, there was one more thing that I really want to do, and that's to go into here, into entities, okay? I gotta mess with my bad guys. Okay, so, first of all, let's see, where are they? Drifter. Drifters are, spoiler alert, if you haven't played, drifters are these creepy humanoid guys that show up at night after the first few days. And, yeah, they're not that bad once you have some good weapons and stuff, but I don't want to have to deal with worrying about herds of these guys coming and attacking me in the middle of the night and killing me and just, like, all kinds of, it's just stress for me. I'm not playing the game for the challenge of combat, I'm playing the game just to relax and build and enjoy stuff, do a little farming and things like that. So I'm not going to turn them off entirely this time. This is what I did last time. But let's see if I can find... Here we go. Spawn conditions. Max quantity is currently set to 10, right? So, like, you can get 10 of these guys all at once. How about, let's just say you can get 3. We can have 3 of these little fellas spawn near me at night, and that's fine, right? Max quantity 3. There could be fewer, but no more than 3. And we could also change the light level where they spawn so that they need more darkness, but I haven't looked into exactly what the light levels are, so I'm not going to touch that for now. And I think really that's enough. There's also a chance for them to, I mean, look at all the behaviors they have. All this stuff can be modded, you guys. So if this is terrifying to you, you don't have to worry about any of this stuff. Go to here. If you don't want them to spawn at all, just set this max quantity to 0, and they will stop spawning altogether, right? Just the names of stuff. Aggressive jerk, I love it. Passive jerk, interesting. So you can set the animations, you can set their behavior in water, you can set whether they can climb ladders and things like that. You can set how quickly they despawn. Where was that one here? That was, let's see. Oh, you can change the drops. Minor spoiler, the drifters have a very, 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 very low chance, that low, to spawn a gear which lets you change your spawn point. I'm not going to mess with it because I don't know exactly how big of a difference makes how big of a difference, but just so you know, there is at least some reason. They also have the chance to drop flaps fibers, and you see the chance for that is much, much higher. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and increase this. I'm going to be bold. I can see that the flax is average 0.2, so average 0.1 means it drops half as often as flax. Maybe even let's make it half as often as that. So flax will drop 4 times more often as the gears, which means the gears will probably drop fairly often. But again, I don't really see any value to making it difficult to change your spawn. Sleeping in a bed doesn't change your spawn in this game. So, okay, but yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that you can tweak and change. If you're interested, there's just a lot of power and a lot of options. And if you're not interested, then that's fine. You can just leave it how it is. And there's one other... Yeah, the locusts. I also want to mess... Oops. Here we go, with the locusts. Because these little friends right here, they spawn in massive groups as well. 35 is the maximum group that they could spawn in. I won't say anything else about the locusts. If you've watched my other videos, then you've already seen them. They're the little jump scare critters. I'm gonna make the max quantity 10. That's already more than I would really like. Often I would just disable them completely. But again, setting this to 0 and setting the drifter one to 0 will essentially set this to peaceful mode. You will still have the wolves. You will still have the wolves. And in fact, let's see. I haven't even looked into it, folks. But let's see if we can figure out how to change the wolves so that they are not quite so aggressive. There's 3 different wolves, and we'll have to change all of them. Let's see if we can figure it out just by glancing, okay? Drops, render, behaviors, blah, blah, blah. Behaviors, multiplies, they have babies. Oh my goodness, is this actually implemented? Do they actually have babies now? That would be great. I don't know if this is actually enabled right now, but that would be cool. Melee attack, okay. Priority damage, attack duration, damage player at Doesn't seem to say how close you need to be for them to aggro on you. Seek entity. Seeking range 20. Okay. They will seek the player from 20 blocks away. I'm going to reduce that to 5. If I get within 5 blocks of a wolf, it is well within its rights to attack me because I might be coming to get it. Okay? Otherwise, leave me alone, wolf. So, stays close to, idle, wander. Okay, I think that's all I need to do. I'm not going to change the damage they do because, you know, if a wolf does decide to attack me, it's going to hurt. That makes sense. But I just don't want them to, because wolves don't do that, frankly. Wolves, like real wolves, they don't just hunt down humans. Humans are way too big for wolves. And I'm not sure if the pups even have the same behavior. Let's see. Flea player, yeah. The pups will run away from you. Because they're little babbies, they won't go run to their mommy. So that's fine then. Cool, okay. Folks, I think that's all the changes that I had planned on making for now. I still haven't done all of the durability and the tools and stuff, but I'm not going to be making those yet anyway. Never mind that. Do not look behind the curtain. So, let's open Vintage Story. One thing that I keep forgetting to ask the devs is, can you please make the game remember if I had it maximized? Because it doesn't remember, it just leaves it on regular window mode. Okay, so let's go back into our world and let's see if we've destroyed anything. Does anything crash? Does anything crash? I'm scared now. I haven't tested this, you guys. I'm doing this with you. Here we are. Oh, it's still so beautiful. And it doesn't even seem to be having any trouble, even though I have unscaled down the video. So let's go and see if we can find... Oh, that's right. I forget I have to hold down. I have to hold down the run key in this one. Does not toggle. I would really love a toggle. That would actually also reduce the strain on my wrist if I could toggle. Oh, we've got a little bit of lag. Remember, it is also generating all these mountains and stuff, so we can't be too upset. I love this right here. I'm so keeping this world, you guys. I'm so keeping this world. Let's see if we can find a wolf and see if we can get a little bit closer to it. We've got goats here. I don't know if they're meant to be sheep or goats. Some people are calling them sheep and some people are calling them goats. You know what? We can check. Let's look in the asset files. Sheep, okay? Bighorn sheep. They're officially sheep, folks. If you're calling them goats, then you're just wrong. It's okay though, I don't think anybody will be too upset. So I know that wolves spawn in the mountains. Oh, listen to this music, it's lovely! Who's composing the music? Whoever's composing the music, you're just doing the best job. Very impressed. Let's see. Can we find some wolves? You know what I might do? Is I might even change to game mode creative. Okay, and then... Oh, they've changed it so that spacebar raises you up. Starts fly mode, so you don't have to cycle through. Okay, now you remember me complaining before, you guys, about how the flight works and how I don't like it because I'm used to Minecraft. If you... Is it this button? Yeah. Ooh, the map's in the way. Okay. Fly mode. Picking right, blah, 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 blah. You can set it to Y-axis lock. Look! It's Minecraft Flight. This was already in the game, you guys. This was already in the game. It was built in, and I just didn't see it. So, yeah. Awesome game. This game is awesome. This game is spectacular. I don't see any wolves. Interestingly, the moving on the Y-axis... Oh, wait, is that a wolf? That's a wolf. Okay. So I'm gonna come down. I don't think wolves will attack you in creative mode anyway. Alright. Set back to survival. Now let's see. Now normally that wolf would already be coming after me. As long as I stay more than 5 blocks away, it's not gonna bother me anymore. I'm not gonna get hunted down by packs of wolves, who have plenty of other animals to eat, let's be serious. Look how close I can get. Oh, that's wonderful. That's perfect. Now I'm lost in the mountains. Sweet, okay. Let's just fly back to our starting point. Whoop. I think it was this way. Oh goodness. I hope I haven't gotten myself lost. Might have. You can set waypoints, but it's done with a command, and I did not write down the command yet. Sorry, folks. This is exciting, though. Just to have a map at all is a... Here we go. This is a very easy landmark to recognize. Sweet. So, my tweaks to the wolf worked. Now, let's give myself an axe. Don't worry, I'm gonna, like... I'm not gonna keep all of these advantages that I'm giving myself. This is just a test. Can I make my... Can I get copper axe, right? Actually, no. While I'm in creative, let's also get some of those lamps. I've got a torch. Lamp, oil lamp, and lantern. I don't know where they are located. There's so many items. Decorative, maybe? Here we go. Lantern. Okay. Just grab a copper lantern, I guess. And oil lamps just look like filled bowls, I think. Bowl of honey, food bowl, oil lamp. Okay. So we'll also grab those. Oops. Oh, it doesn't delete your text if you leave the chat box. That's good. Okay, let's cut down a tree. Let's cut down a small tree. And I mean, you can tweak everything. Like, if you want the charcoal to burn for longer, you can tweak that and make that happen. And if you want to make it more difficult, you can make that happen too. Like, it's not only edit the game to make it easier. And the only difference, really, between what I'm doing and modding is that a mod is something that where you create one file which makes all these changes. And then you can just distribute that one file. And I will do that. That is not difficult to do. Look at that. So now we'll have all this firewood. Just like that. All this firewood, right? So that one log creates enough firewood to fill one block. Actually, no, I think it's half a block, isn't it? Yeah. So two logs is enough to fill a block with the firewood. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the chat off tab. So, yes, all of these things are great improvements. Now, last thing I want to check, looks like the sun is slowly going down. So let's maybe find a dark little corner here and put down the lights and just see how bright they are. Alright, night has fallen, and you can see our torch now lights up a really pretty good-sized area, right? Our lantern also lights up pretty good-sized area. Now, these little oil lamps, which I've got in my hand here, famously are not even bright enough to stop mobs from spawning. Even though they're really not that easy to make, to be fair. I mean, they're not as difficult as the other ones, surely, but now we got one oil lamp, and look at how much brighter that is. Look how much easier that is to see in the video. It's spectacular. Let's come over here. I also made myself a little bed. Remember, we adjusted the sleeping time. 9 hours. If I go to sleep now, we watch the world drift by as we fade into sleep. Now let's see if they made the sleep time any shorter. It was quite long before. It's still pretty long. There we go. And we wake up. And the moon is nearly ready to set. So it doesn't pass the whole night. But again, if I decided I wanted to make it past the whole night, I could always go back in and tweak the files again. So, yeah. It's really very easy, guys. It's not difficult to tweak the game. And if you make a little voxel model, and I think they even have a model creator, once you understand what all those tags do, it's very easy to mod items into the game. I mean, I'm just thinking of things like, you know, what if I made some glowing mushrooms and they gave off a blue light instead of the kind of orangish and white lights that these things give off? Like, that would actually be really easy to do. I might as well do that. You know, there's just so many possibilities and it makes me so excited. So that's going to be it. This video already went on longer than I expected and intended it to. I'm going to have to undo all of my cheating and start over in this beautiful world. Maybe, actually, can we get the seed? We can. I'll just create a new world with the same seed because that'll be easier than undoing what I've done. But yeah, this has been my vintage story video. I hope you guys find it useful. I hope you find it helpful. I will be going back and making more tweaks. And if you would be interested in a mod which just includes all the changes that I make for my own game to set it to my kind of wrist-friendly easy mode, casual mode, if you will, leave a comment, let me know. And I will totally do that, and then I'll make another video showing you how to install the mod. It's not difficult to install mods, you guys. It's not hard. Don't be scared. I know some people are like, I don't want to have to mess with the game. It's actually really easy, you guys. It's really easy. So leave a comment if you would like that. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.